back with a good friend, man, Johnny Dee. So glad to see you on the ship, and thank you for doing this. I know. Tell me about how busy you are. Like, I was going to ask you, is this a vacation? But it doesn't look like one.
Look, after I've seen some of these other cats, I mean, I can't even say I'm busy because people are going. I mean, between how many bands, you know, so and so is in, and then a jam and an interview and this and that. So for me, it's like, it's a little bit of work and a little bit of play, and that's fine with me. I mean, you know, I'll take whatever I can get. But yeah, it's a little bit chaotic because, man, there's so much to do, you know. You're gonna walk away, you'll be home tomorrow going like, holy crap, what just happened? So much happened, but then you feel like you missed so much. So, but we had a good amount of stuff. We had 2 shows. Q&A session. We had a meet and greet, which was really cool to meet all these killer people from all over the place, and I think we won a lot of new fans over because a lot of people didn't even know who we were, you know, and that's why we're here. That's why I wanted us to be on this ship.
Well, we don't get to see Doro enough. We get to see you occasionally with your side project, Headbangers Ball, but seeing Doro was great. So, hey, I asked a question at that Q&A, and I don't know if you can relate the story, because I don't know if you were there for the whole thing, the filming of Raise Your Fist.
Right.
Doro told a pretty cool story. Can you relay that, a little bit of that?
Yeah, she wanted to film in and around New York because she loves the city, and to capture some of the vibe, you know, on the streets, and just getting, you know, people to just raise it up, you know, and but they couldn't get clearance to film. I guess it's really hard. I mean, I rolled up for the afternoon. I didn't really catch. She did some filming on her own before I got there, but apparently they just, you know, she was without any real regard to where she was. Oh, that looks cool, let's go there. And then you end up in the ghetto or some weird neighborhood where it was like probably not the safest place for her to go, but she's just like so like a kid in that way. She just wants to do, you know, whatever looks great or whatever. So she ended up I think it was under some bridge, and you know, they started filming. It looked all cool and metal and stuff, and then like these people just started crawling out from under boxes and shit. It was like, you know, Night of the Living Dead type stuff, and they were like, what's going on around here, you know, checking it out. And then she said that you know, apparently a couple people were like, yo, this is our territory, man, what are you doing here? And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, we're trying to film a video. And they're like, oh yeah, what kind of music? And she's like, it's like heavy metal, hard rock. And they're like, oh. And she's like, yeah, you want to be in the video? And they're like, yo, girl, you're in our turf, man. No, check it out. So, all right, let me hear the song. And she played the song for him, and they were like, that's pretty cool, man, we'll rock to that. So you got these random people like in the video, and dudes that were like total hip-hop fans, and, you know, whatever, homeless people, and, you know, whatever, fans, or just totally, you know, went off the cuff. So it was pretty wild.
When I was watching you, man, we've gotten to know you pretty well, and I never thought about, I was really watching you during the Doro sets. It's pretty intense up there. You've got to be in good shape these days, because I thought about it. I always watch drummers, but I never thought about how much like intense fast stuff you do with Doro. Is there one song that like kills you?
Well, I've never been the fast speed metal or power metal guy. I mean, I grew, you know me from the 80s and playing just 4 on the floor anthem, rock anthem type stuff. But I do, you know, a little bit of double bass stuff, and most of it isn't, you know, it's kind of, if it's paced well throughout the set, it's cool. But of course, Revenge is probably like the fastest song and the most constant. Like Hellbound, for example, has some double bass in it, but then the verses are just straight ahead, and then it kicks into double bass again in the choruses. But Revenge is like from top to bottom, just straight out, you know, out of the gate, gone. and that's, you know, never been my forte, but it's fun, and you know, just do it. But yeah, the pace of the show is pretty intense because she just doesn't want to let up. She's just like full on energy all the time, you know. And then of course I have to do a solo, and everyone else gets a break except for me, you know.
Yeah,
so the only break I really get is during any kind of stopping or her talking or like a ballad, you know. But you know, I think I just got conditioned to it over the years. It's been so many years I've been doing it for her in that way that it just becomes sort of second nature.
I was listening to the Q&A today, so if I got it right, you're the longest, or the veteran in the band, aren't you?
No, I'm second longest.
Oh, second. I did my math wrong.
Yeah, Nick's here 20, his is 24th year. That's ridiculous, man.
So tell me something about...
21 now. It'll be 21 in August, but...
So people that know that long being in Doro, I had to ask you about getting to meet back up with Danny from Wasted, and how was that conversation? And you guys have, it was what, the mid 90s or early 90s? You guys from Wasted?
No, 80s.
80s.
1986, 87.
So
it was like the first rodeo for us both. I mean, he was in the band before a little bit longer than me, but I came a few months later. And you know, it was a great ride because we basically made a, you know, it was our first major record for both of us on EMI Capitol. You know, playing with two guys from UFO, living in England. There was just all this stuff happening for the first time for us, and we just sort of bonded because we were the two Americans, and we just, you know, did some amazing touring with Iron Maiden, and unbelievable for, you know, for us both. And you know, so we hadn't seen each other in so long. I mean, and when the band broke up, we didn't, like, he moved to Ireland at one point and I went back to Philly, and then, you know, so we just did not really ever, we didn't have the opportunity to cross paths for the longest time. I mean, and then we both found out we would be on this ship together, and it was like we started emailing each other, and it was like, oh, dude, it's so cool. I'm so excited to see you. And we had actually really hoped to do more together, you know, but everything's so rushed, and we wanted to jam and possibly do a couple Wasted tunes somewhere along the line, but there was only like one or two jams. One was a Kiss jam, and the other was the Cheap Thrill guys, who already had kind of a set thing, you know, so there wasn't an opportunity. I had the guys in Doro learn some stuff as a backup, and, you know, it could have worked, but it didn't. Just timing, you know, stuff's running late on here. And
I was hoping maybe during the Taiketo set, but I didn't know that you guys had the question and answer going on, like, right after that.
Yeah, and I think, you know, although it would have been really cool and nostalgic, I think because those guys are really... you know, it was their first time here. They don't, you know, they want to make the best impression that they can, and you know, you don't want to take away. I didn't want to steal anybody's thunder, you know what I mean? But we'll do it. I mean, now the fact that we've like seen each other and talked about it, I think, you know, there's got to be something on the horizon for us to do together, which would be really cool. And those guys sounded fantastic.
They were awesome. I mean, you know, one of my favorite acts on the set, and I only got to meet Danny by Skype a couple weeks ago, was instantly impressed. We talked about you, by the way, a little bit. Yeah. But anyway, after talking to him, I was like, man, I can't wait to see these guys. And it was funny because she didn't know a lot of their music and left there, I think the word was wow, afterwards.
I mean,
he's a hell of a singer.
He's a great entertainer, a great front man, a good guy, and you know, I miss playing behind him. You know, we had a great time when we played together. It was so long ago, but I mean, really some great memories, you know. And it was not easy to support Iron Maiden on, you know, in the late 80s. I mean, it probably never is, you know. They're a band that mostly their fans don't want to hear anything like Motorhead and like all the big big guns, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for Wasted to win over a crowd, man, we really had our shit dialed in, you know. We would come out, steamroller it, and Danny learned how to grab the crowd by the balls, and you know. And
well, I think it was a really underrated band. I said that on our radio show a couple weeks ago. So I went back after I knew we'd be talking and was listening to the old catalog, man.
Yeah.
Hey, one last thing before I let you go. What's Headbangers Ball got going coming up? Are you guys still working at that side project? Or?
We want to try to get it back up and running again. We had a little bit of momentum happening, and then it kind of, you know, filtered off because I had to leave for South America and stuff. And so really at this point we're just looking for a good break in all of our schedules to try to hit it again, maybe get a couple week run. I actually wanted to go to Europe in April, but it didn't work out. So maybe later in the year, so we'll concentrate on some gigs in America and see what we can get going. But I would love to get on this boat because I think it would be it's perfect musically, and you know, there's certainly enough stages on here to have a little
no doubt about it,
80s tribute going on, you know. So.
Well, listen, man, I don't want to test your pipes anymore. Thanks so much for being here, man.
I haven't even done anything but talk, and feel bad for these singers, but Doro's holding up good, but I appreciate it.
Johnny, always a pleasure, man. We love hanging with you. One of the really cool guys at rock and roll you'll ever meet, Johnny Dee, everybody.
Thanks, guys.